What's up, everyone? Infinite Nebula Gaming here. Yesterday was the Madison Regional at Monona Terrace, 600 player capacity. We got 4-2-2, so 4 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. 2 draws were very close. I just pretty much needed my opponent to hand over the turn with the last couple seconds, but can't blame them like any other player. They're not just going to hand over the turn for you to get the win. So it is what it is. Can't blame them on that. I did take heroes, and my list is 45 cards main deck. I will go through the main deck monsters first. Just had to put those 3 up there because those 3 right there put in work. Definitely. I will start the list off with 3 Stratos. Tell you what, the 3 Eldritch players that I had to face yesterday, he put in work. He put in a lot of work. Him and Mass Change, a lot of work. I do not have any complaints about the Stratos at 3. Needs to be for the consistency and also not just the searching consistency, but back row is pretty heavy right now. And being able to get rid of that and deal with it, you're going to need him at 3. 2 Shadow Mist, consistency for the search, not only for the mass change, but majority of the time, I'm sending this off rather than special summoning it unless I have Hero Lives. If I have Hero Lives, I'll go for the Shadow Mist if I have Stratos in hand or Solid Soldier in hand. This also, the draw 2, discard 1. Like I said, if you have Shadow Mist in your hand, you discard that 2 for the search. Why not? It's great to have the Liquid Soldier for that. Also, if you happen to have the Shadow Mist and the Gray from the turn prior to that, you special summon it that way. Now, Elemental Hero Solid Soldier, I put him in because I have in my extra deck of Abuska. And that play comes in handy when you're going first. I will go through that combo. I'll just tell you, it's a great combo. I was able to do a lock that is really a pain to get through, and I don't know many players that actually can. Elemental Hero Neos, Honest Neos, put in work. I tell you what, this card, I am so glad that every time I searched this, I was happy I did, because my opponent, knowing I had it, they still had to get through it. They still had to attack into it, and they knew it. Because otherwise it wasn't getting rid of, and on my turn, I could have possibly, OTK'd, and they would rather have me get rid of it on their turn. So it did work. It got rid of some boards. Destiny Hero package. We got the Celestial. I do play him for the, draw 2 for sure, but also, the being able to pop, spell a trap card. Like, play him. Honestly, he's got a lot of utility. He's very versatile. So, also level 4 target. The 1 Plasma, I summoned him twice. And I was able to take an Eldritch, which that was pretty cool. The one that, couldn't be destroyed by card effect. So I just took it instead. And then from there, it was pretty much game. Destiny Hero Decider. Mainly for the recycling, even though you can only use it like once per duel. It's the recycling that I liked. And then also if he's in the grave, when they try to do like burn damage or something, to try to go for game, you just, here this is, and you just say no. The 1 Denier, it's like playing a 3rd Mally. It's great. And the fact that he can special summon a Destiny Hero, it's really great. I can't knock it at all. 2 Mally, obvious reasons. Able to link climb, keep going with combo. Dark Angel, I play it at 2. I don't play it at 3, and I don't play it at 1. I play a 45 card deck, which is why it's at 2. you have the 3 Destiny Heroes in the graveyard, you special summon it. You can also have one of him in the graveyard, and you can still special summon this one from your hand. That's also why I play 2. 2 Vision Hero Ferris. The reason I don't play 3 is because you can search it. And going for the Trinity route isn't super important, and it doesn't come up very much. I do play Trinity in the extra deck, but I can say I didn't use it at all through the regional. Never came up. I understand about the link climbing with this also and continuing plays. You're still able to do it with it at 2 and being able to search. Even in a 45 card deck, it happened every game. I was able to do it. It didn't hold me back at all. I play 1 Vision Hero Increase. In a 45 card deck, you would think you wouldn't, draw it as much. I think it only happened once or twice at the region where I drew this in the hand with Ferris. And I'm just like, why? But, it happened. It is what it is. I still won it after that, so it's all right. 2 Vion. We all know how important he is. So, send the one from your deck, the hero from your deck, to the graveyard. Most likely it's either Shadow Mist or a Destiny Hero, so you can continue for the Cross Crusader play. But if you have the Destiny Hero already in the grave, then you just send Shadow Mist to search. And then, of course, banish 1 to get your Polymerization. 1 Adusted Gold. Yes, I do play it because why not? It's a 1-card boss monster. So I'm going to play it. It did great. Malicious Bane got me out of a lot of predicaments that if I didn't have it, I wouldn't have been able to get out of them. The 1 Called By, even in a 45 card deck, has more than just, the hand trap. I wasn't worried about the hand traps for how much searching I had. So if they did play the 1 Droll or play Droll, I mean, I at least ran this. If I got Drolled and hopefully had this, but I didn't run into Droll at all. I ran into Ashe and whatnot, but Ashe didn't do anything because of how much searching heroes do in general. So, and then also this being able to banish other monsters, like a DP of your opponents or, Eldritch for any example. If they have that one in the grave they're trying to target in the grave, you just banish it and they lose it, and that's just all she wrote. There's other decks it hits. Got 3 Droplet. I wanted Board Breakers, and I used Droplet twice in the 8 rounds. I geared my deck for, pretty much the top 5. Tear Element and Bird, Branded Despia. I did tune it for Runic also, just in case you see that. I know Runic is kind of like in that top tier of like Rogue. So, yeah. And then I faced a Drytron that I didn't expect to face at all and didn't draw into Forbidden Droplet. So that kind of hurt. That would have been great to draw into Forbidden Droplet. I play the 3 Super Poly. This card did so much work. I am so proud of this card. You're playing heroes, you play Super Polymerization. Even if, you're keeping it at 40, trust me, if you play Droplet and Super Polymerization, you're board wiping and you're going for OTK, buddy. 3 Hero Liz because it's at 3. Got that search out. Game 2, depending on how much time there was, I sided all 3 of these out. And with doing that, that's also why I play the 3 E-Call. For when I would side out the 3 Hero Lives. This is why I push it to 45. Is when I side out a Hero Lives in time, I still have consistency with the E-Call. And E-Call, honestly, after doing this, I don't think I could ever go back to just only running 1. I could maybe go down to 2, but it definitely came in handy because they're not once per turn. And 1 gets ashed, okay, keep going. And it also doesn't get in the way of your Hero Lives. So it goes pretty good, especially in the combos. Being able to do the Solid Soldier into Shadow Mist or Solid Soldier into Stratos to get, a 1 pop or the search, it goes well. It goes very well. I play the Reinforcements of the Army instead of the Foolish Burial. I debated on it a lot, I just figured this would be like my third Vion, if anything. So I wanted the spell card instead. 3 Fusion Destiny, because we got that back at 3. Let's go. That's why my Destiny hero count is a little bit bigger than most players, because, I mean, this is back at 3. So I don't want it to not ever be used. So it's constantly being able to be used. 3 mass change, you know. We're going to dodge the Effect Veiler and the Imperm. Comes in handy a lot. Like, I could say I definitely used it a lot to, like, dodge Imperm. I didn't see Veiler. I just only saw Imperm. And I was able to dodge it, so that was awesome. 1 Polymerization for the Search. 1 Dark Calling for Dusty Gold Search. 1 Miracle Fusion for Sunrise Search. And that's all for the main deck. Like I said, it's 45. I'm going to head on to the extra deck. We have Extra Hero Cross Crusader. He is, you know, our extender, our search. Able to link up if you don't want to do the search, if you didn't have to. So that's always nice to do. Dread Decimator. I tell you what. I made a last-minute decision on this the night before the tournament. And I took out Wonder Driver and put this in. Absolute work. Him and DPE are amazing. So if I don't have Sunriser out, I have this out. But if I can get Sunriser out and this out, oh my god, with DPE, it is amazing. Especially with Bane, being able to pop people over, you know, 3,000, like, because you're much higher than that. Yeah. Like I said, the DPE, I feel like this doesn't need any explanation at all. This card is amazing. I can say, though, I only actually went into it about 4 times out of the 8 rounds. Unfortunately. But even with that, I still had a pretty good turnout, in my opinion. My last round, unfortunately, it was against Invoked Dolls, and we had like 20 seconds left, and it went to his battle phase after my main phase 1. He went to his turn, set up his board to Mechaba, and I had Cross Crusader with the Super Poly set. So I used his Mechaba and my Cross Crusader in the Super Poly in his battle phase with about 20 to 15 seconds left, and Super Poly did away in his attack declaration. So he had no board, and I had Predplant, Draco's Aspilia. And main phase 2, you know, it pretty much came to, oh, time's running out. So, yeah, instead of having a 5-2-1, I ended up with 4-2-2. That's just kind of how that went. He could have just handed it off to me and just been like, yeah, you have game. Good game, you know, but didn't end up that way. Can't really blame him either because, you know, he's trying to top 2, but I feel like that kept me out the bubble on that. Evil Hero Malicious Bane, like I said, does absolute work. Not being able to be destroyed by, you know, a DPE because card effect and can't be destroyed by battle. So, you know, I'm safe that way. A lot of people were playing the DPE package again because Fusion Destiny at 3. So, yes, I will always play Bane. I never took Bane out. I like the Adusted Gold package. It's literally only Adusted Gold and Dark Fusion of, like, you know, you have Dark Calling, and that does everything you need to do. I might, just because, you know, having another Adusted Gold, so that way when the Adusted Gold gets banished, there's still another one. I might actually put the second one in. I just don't know what I'm going to take out yet. The one Trinity, like I said earlier, I never went into it. It never came up. My opponent really didn't have, like, monsters in attack position. I've noticed more monsters are in defense position than anything. So, if he had piercing damage, yeah, I definitely would have put him in. Also, Destiny Hero Dominance, put in work. Going first and being able to look at your opponent's top 5 to get player knowledge, to know what he is playing, so that way you can continue to combo on without overextending or stop overextending when you see what they're playing. Also with this, it sets up Dark Angel. So that's awesome. I was able to Dark Angel and also Baguska and Dark Law somebody. You just have to set it up right, and you have to go in the right order. Otherwise, you know, Fusion Destiny locks you out. So you got to go in the right order. Elementary Hero Sunrise, players have to play through this. They don't really like playing around it. So he puts in work. I didn't have a problem with him. I went into him, I think, 5 times, and each time it made a problem for my opponent. To go with, you know, the combo with Sunriser to go into Absolute Zero. He is awesome. It's great, honestly. And definitely don't forget about that gain 500 attack for the water monsters on. Like, don't forget about that. That's very important because you can have it on there. And then when you mass change the Absolute Zero into Acid, you know, you get a complete board wipe, so why not? And if your opponent controls monsters by, you know, it not being able to be destroyed, just remember, like, if you hit back row, they lose 300 attack. So that helps out a lot. 1 Dark Law. Now, I know it's weird because a lot of hero players, we play 2, but I wasn't feeling the need to play 2. And I still kind of don't feel the need to play 2 based on how the meta is right now. Because if anything, there's cards that can get this back. So we're good on that. Mass Hero Blast, of course, for your mass change target for Stratos. For that way you beat, you know, Effect Veiler and Imperm. And him also with, you know, back row being pretty common right now. He just does work, and I love it. Be careful in time, though. Yep. Dracos Aspelia. No reason not to play this. When you Super Poly, you can also use against, like, Tier Element, because they also run Darks and their Fusion. So sometimes you can get away with Super Polying 2 of their monsters if they leave it like that. And having the negate is really nice. Garura. That came in handy 2 times, I do believe. And that was also kind of like a game ender as well. Yeah, I wasn't able to do the effect to draw a card. It never really came up. It didn't go to grave. So, like I said, it was kind of like game ending when this kind of hit the board because I'd OTK. I was preparing to face more Despia, and I didn't face any. Not at all. So that was kind of, you know, a wasted slot in my extra deck. But if I would have faced, like, Despia at all, like, throwing this on him, that's going to hurt a lot. And this was only for a regional that I did this for, my extra deck slot. Just was preparing to see more of it and just didn't. That was kind of one of the things that I noticed about the regional, that I didn't face decks that I actually prepared my deck for. And the Bagooska. This card going first also, like, if we don't know what we're playing and we're unsure, we don't want to kind of like overextend, this card comes in handy for that, and that's why I went for that. I wanted to know, and especially if I didn't have like a hand that was good enough to go into like certain combos and stuff, I at least had a defense to prepare for my next couple turns. I normally don't do a side deck, but since it was a regional, I will do a side deck for us. Chaos Hunter at 3. Chaos Hunter stole 3 of the games. And like I said, this is going to become much more needed in the upcoming sets coming out for sure. Format is going to be needing that. I didn't play this, but I was, like I said, I was prepared for, you know, I was prepared for birds. I was prepared for Tier Element. Decks like that use effects to make it, you know, our turn instead of just my turn. So that's why I played that at 3. Here's the Spice. This is the going into time card. If you don't know what he does, you have to tribute at least 1 Destiny hero with this to get him on the field. And when your opponent draws, he loses half his life points. So if you time this out and you're into time and you know game 3, you're going first, or you possibly lost, you know, game 2, and you throw this on them, oof, tell you what, they might flip the table. I think that plays more like more of an insult than a cowboy. 3 Twin Twister, because like I said, I also prepared for Runic, stuff like that. I figured that would be in there because, the Sprite Runic build. I was expecting to see that. So the 3 Twin Twister, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, Triple Tactics, because, like I said, I was preparing for interactions to happen on my turn, but I just didn't face opponents that had that, besides like the Drytron player that ended up getting the win. Drytron I just didn't expect at all. I didn't have really anything for it that I would expect. 3 Evenly Matched. 3 Evenly Matched stole the game against every Eldritch player. And if I would have faced Runic, it definitely would have stole that too, if they didn't have their field spell. And even if they did have their field spell, they're going to have to figure that out and what they're going to want to take out. Overall, I had fun. The deck I was very proud of. The build I was very proud of. Consistency I was very proud of. And can't say I was surprised because that's how I theorized it to be. Like I said, it was 4-2-2. And my first matchup was against Eldritch. My second matchup was against Spellbook, Dogmatica, and he ran Village of the Spellcasters with Jowgen. That one I lost because game 1, he Jowgen Spellbook or Villaged me. Game 2, I did my Babushka, Darklaw, and had Fusion Destiny, and had 3 Destiny Heroes to my grave, and then I also had my Dark Angel in the hand to give it to him so he couldn't activate, or his spell card would be negated if activated. So then he just scooped on that because he realized it was a full lock. Game 3 was an Eldritch variant, and that was a 2-0. Game 4 was the Drytron, and like I said, I had nothing to prepare for that. I didn't expect to see Drytron at all. The other one after that for game 5 was also Eldritch. I pulled that one as well. Game 6 was it was Phantom Knight, and I got that one. That was a 2-0. Kind of went into time, but I still was able to get it. Game 7 was my other tie with what deck was it? It was a weird deck. It was not a normal, that's for sure. I was not expecting to see it. It had some Eldritch in it. It had some Invoked. It had Dogmatica. It had a lot. I don't even know what to call it. And then my last one was Shadal's Invoked Dogmatica, and that was also a draw. So there it is, you guys and girls. I hope you enjoy. I hope you like the deck list. If you have any comments or questions about any of it, I'll comment back. I will get back to you and reply and answer any questions I can. Y'all take care. Infinite Nebula out.